Does the unknown feel like an eclipse that prevents the sun of your dreams from shining? In today's story, a man from colonial Africa dared to dream of a cultural revival, turning uncertainty into a movement that united a continent. Stay tuned to uncover how his hope shaped Pan-Africanism and learn 3 actionable steps mentioned in popular self-help books by which you can build hope to find positive outcomes in your own unknown. Plus, see how his journey mirrors that of a legendary American woman whose heart full of hope helped her become a beacon for triumphing over adversity. Welcome to Story Wisdom Decoded. Let's step into the story together. During the early 1900s, colonial rule had cast a heavy shadow over Africa, stifling the continent's vibrant cultures under European domination. Across the continent, French rule in Senegal imposed European values and erased local identities and languages, while British control in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, and Uganda, French oppression in Algeria, Morocco, and Tunisia, and Portuguese rule in Angola and Mozambique suppressed traditional practices and indigenous culture. This widespread cultural erasure left African voices marginalized, replaced by foreign governance that threatened the continent's soul. It was under the shadow of this colonial oppression that Alioune Diop grew up. Born in 1910 in St. Louis, Senegal, he studied in both Quranic and French schools. As a young man, he immersed himself in books. He felt a deep hope to reclaim Africa's cultural heritage and dreamt of a future where African voices could break their shackles and rise. Despite the challenges of colonial resistance, his vision began to take root, driven by a hope that refused to fade. Before Alioune's time, Africa lacked a definitive literary voice. Only a few African writers, such as Nigeria's Alauda Equiano, stood out. He was a former enslaved man who mostly wrote about the slave trade in the 1780s. His work, however, did not lead to any broad literary movement. The continent simply lacked a platform to amplify its narratives, leaving African identities fragmented and silenced. Yet, Alioune saw hope and a belief in this unknown that a cultural revival could unite Africa. In 1947, he moved to Paris. Despite facing colonial backlash, he founded Presence Africaine, a journal to celebrate African culture. His monumental effort drew writers like Léopold Senghor and Aimé Césaire, igniting a movement to amplify African narratives and turn uncertainty into a platform for Pan-African unity. Despite facing risks like imprisonment or exile, Alioune organized the 1956 Congress of Black Writers and brought together global voices for African identity. He also faced rejection and financial strain, with colonial authorities watching his every move. However, his continued hope for a positive outcome in the unknown fueled Pan-Africanism and laid the foundation for independence movements across the continent. His efforts resulted in the 1966 World Festival of Black Arts in Dakar, a celebration of African culture that was long awaited. Alioune's hope transformed the unknown into a positive outcome and united Africa and its diaspora in a shared cultural revival. After Alioune's efforts, African literature flourished. Writers like Chinua Achebe from Nigeria and Ngũgĩ wa Thiong'o from Kenya gained prominence, their voices empowered by Presence Africaine. Meanwhile, Pan-Africanism gained momentum throughout Africa and inspired independence in various African countries by the 1960s. Alioune's work sparked this transformation, turning the unknown of colonial silence into a powerful movement that continues to shape Africa's identity. Until his death in 1980, Alioune's hope lit the way for future generations. His legacy endures, proof that the unknown can yield a positive outcome when it is driven by hope. What life lessons are hidden in Alioune's story? The unknown can act as a mighty shadow, but hope can turn it into a stage for revival. Alioune found hope in his culture and created a movement from uncertainty. So, how can you build hope for the unknown? Try these 3 actionable steps. First, create a personal courage ritual. Choose a small symbolic act, such as taking reps of 3 deep diaphragmatic breaths in succession or repeating a personal mantra for 2 minutes. Whenever you face a new or uncertain situation, perform this ritual to build hope inside yourself. This simple practice primes your mind to shift from fear to bravery, building emotional strength and reminding you that you can face uncertainty with calmness. Russ Harris, in his book The Confidence Gap, shares how creating such rituals can build psychological flexibility and resilience, making hope more accessible even in challenging moments. Second, draw a hope map. Maintain a notepad and within it, write a big dream or goal you want to move toward. Then, draw arrows from a few small, achievable steps that could move you closer to that goal, like attending one workshop or reaching out to someone in that field. By visually mapping out your pathways, the unknown transforms from a vague, intimidating fog into a journey you can actually navigate. Shane Lopez, in his book Making Hope Happen, calls this technique a powerful tool to build and sustain hope, helping you see real pathways forward instead of only obstacles. Third, make a reverse bucket list. Instead of listing what you want to do in the future, write down 10 challenges you've already overcome in your life and your accomplishments after overcoming them. Emotionally, reflect on how you felt after those experiences. This powerful reminder reinforces your belief of having faced the unknown before and emerging stronger. It also reignites your hope of doing it again in the future. In their book, Option B, Sheryl Sandberg and Adam Grant have mentioned that reminding yourself of past challenges that you have overcome helps to rebuild hope after setbacks. Aliounne's story echoes the transformative journey of Helen Keller, who found hope in her life amid the unknown depths of her disabilities. Born in 1880 in Tuscumbia, Alabama, a severe illness when Helen was only 19 months old claimed her sight and hearing. This plunged her into a world of isolation where communication was an elusive unknown. When she was 7, her frustration boiled over into tantrums as she struggled to connect with others, her future shrouded in uncertainty. Then, on a pivotal day in June 1887, that would change her life forever, her teacher, Anne Sullivan, took Helen's hand at a water pump and spelled the letters of water into her palm as cool water flowed over it. This simple act unlocked a revelation within her, and for the first time in her life, Helen felt a word connect to a sensation. Her heart ignited with hope amid the realization that language could bridge her silent, dark world to others. This moment transformed her despair into a burning desire to learn. Over the next several months, Anne's patient teaching through the power of touch helped Helen master hundreds of words. Anne's untiring efforts helped Helen unlock the doors of reading, writing, and eventually speaking. The newfound hope of a brighter future that emerged within Helen fueled her determination, leading her to become the first deaf-blind person to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree. She also became a tireless advocate of human rights for women, the disabled, and the poor. Her speeches and writings, including her 1903 autobiography, The Story of My Life, inspired millions and turned her personal hope into a global movement. Hope can transform the unknown. However, in all fairness, you won't be able to let hope guide you on your quest if you generally do not have a positive outlook on life, or if your positivity has taken a hit due to external circumstances. How do you develop a positive mindset? Watch this video displayed on your screen to find out. Till next time, thanks for watching.